So yesterday's lecture we have discussed about the Ansible, right? Ansible ad hoc commands, Ansible playbook basics we have seen, right? So if I go to that directory, which is cd/etc/Ansible, let me log in with the root user, right? So now here I have created one playbooks directory, cd playbooks, and we have created some playbooks here, which is how to use the variables, how to create multiple plays, how to create the multiple tasks, right? So those things we have seen. So we will continue our discussion. So what we will do, we will discuss about, let me just open. So if I go to DevOps mastering, so can we spend a little bit more time today, because um, maybe till 9:30. Will it be okay? We'll see. We'll see how it
Then
proceeds.
okay, okay.
Uh,
We can break the class also. Like suppose you want to complete 1.5 right now, 1.5 evening. We can also do.
okay, that also we can do now. Okay, that will be good. So, okay, so this is the one. Now, Ansible. Under Ansible, we were talking about the playbooks, right? So we have seen these playbooks. We have discussed about multiple tasks. We have discussed about variables in, that is what we have discussed yesterday, right? And variable prompt also we have discussed. Now dry run. What is dry run means? See, say an example. You are having you want to change the state of a particular, you want to change the state of a particular, um, uh, means something you want to change the state of a task, some task. For example, you want to uh, start a service, you want to stop a service, you want to perform certain tasks, but you are not sure that whether I need to do that or not. Okay. So in that case, you can use the dry run. So dry run will not make any change into your task, but it will um, but it will tell you that this change will be going to happen. Okay, something like that. So as an example, if I go to my task, which is 04 variable, right? Yeah. So in this file, what we were doing, we were asking the content, right? So, and that contents get stored under this particular file. So that is what we were doing. Now, that I was doing on the local host on my local machine, right? If it is web server, DB server, you can change accordingly. Now, if I say cat slash ntmp slash devops.txt, does not exist because we have restarted the system. And when you restart the system, temporary files will be deleted, right? So let me run this code, right? So how to run? So I will say Ansible. Let me clear the history. So I'll say Ansible and playbook, which is 04, this one. And if I run this, it will execute my script, but I want to use the dry run. Right? So now when I run this, so what it will do, it will, okay, some syntax error. Sorry, it is hyphen check, not dry run. Right. Now it will execute my script, but it will not make any change into the file. Okay. So now if I say testing, right? So it is saying that it will say it gathers the information from my local host. It is reading the file, but file does not exist. It is saying I will make the change. Means here task one, yellow color means what? Means the desired state will be changed, right? So desired state will be changed. It means that file does not exist. It will create the file, right? But it has not created. Now it is saying next read the file. It is not able to read because that file does not exist. And at the end it is saying the content of the file is blank because everything is running in a dry run mode. If I see that cat/tmp and devops.txt, you will not find that file because even though I have executed the script, but it is executed in the dry run mode. Right. Now, so this is the purpose of, but if I run it without dry run, then it will be executing. Means if I say testing now, so it will execute properly, it will read the content, it will uh, it will create the file, it will update the file, everything will happen now because this is a normal execution. Now you can see the content of the file is testing, even though you can check with the tmp slash and devops.txt file. Right? So here you can see it is testing. So this is dry run. Right? Now logging. You can also use check mode. So what is check mode? So for example, if I have this 04 this file, and now I want that content of the file should not change. Okay. So what I will do here, I will write check hyphen mode. Let's check hyphen mode. Uh, 1 second. Let me check the hyphen check underscore mode. And I will say yes. So when you say yes, it means it will be running in the dry run mode. Okay. So it means content of my file should not change because here what I'm doing, I'm just changing the content of the file. Okay. Now if I say yes, now if I execute normally, I'm not using hyphen check. Now within the task, if I say new testing, so it will not change the content of the file because check mode is running in the dry run mode. Something wrong. Uh, okay, now let me just check that one. I think the alignment is like this. Hmm. So I'm just saying new testing. Now you can see the content is still testing, not new testing, because the task where I was updating the content, so that task was in the dry run mode. So if it is in the dry run mode, it will not make the changes. It will just simply tell you that something gets changed or desired state is already, means if the color is the green color, it means desired state is already achieved. Right? So that is the dry run. Now, next thing is that whatever the commands you are executing, right, you want to create a log. Okay, so log entries are log entries is basically we will have something which is called log path equals to this. So what we will do, we will go to our configuration file, which is vi, that is one folder above. So if I say ansible.cfg, right, and if I search for log underscore path, right, so here I will uncomment this and I will give some path. So for example, I'm giving this path. Okay. So when I give this path, right, so it means what it will do, once this setting is applied, then whatever I'm executing, everything will be recorded under this particular directory and file, right? So let us save this. Now I'll say Ansible. I'll just simply say Ansible playbook. Let me run 01. Okay, that is in another folder, CD playbooks. Now I'll say Ansible and playbook and 01 basic. Okay, so this is executed. Now let me go to that. If I say ls minus l slash where slash log, there should be ansible dot log file. So if I see here, you can see there is a ansible dot log file, right? And now let us see what is inside this. So if I say cat slash where slash log and ansible dot log file. So here you can see the task which I have executed. It is showing that result. It is showing that at this time, play for web server, that output, right? It is getting stored here. Okay. And whatever, we received, everything is recorded in this particular file. So this file is basically the one where you can keep whatever the commands you are executing, their output, everything get stored under this particular log file. Okay, so what I'll do, I will remove this because uh, otherwise it occupies a lot of space on my system. You can attach or mount it to some different directory, which is maybe your external drive. So cd dot dot, and I will just comment this. Right. In the YAML file, we can also put the no log equals to true. Okay. So it will just prevent the logging sensitive information, means any information, it will just hide that. Now, next is the error handling. How we can handle the errors. Like in any programming language, we are having try catch, try except in the Python, right? Which basically tells you that if there is an error occur, then what will happen. So let me show you with the one example. So let me go to the playbooks directory, and here I will create nano and 05 underscore, I'll say error handling dot YAML file. Okay. Now I will put 3 hyphen, then the name, which is I'll say play for error handling. Again, you can give any host, but I will use local host. and we will create some tasks. Okay. So uh, I will create a task with the name, and I'll say this is task one. Okay. And in this task, what I want to do, I want to execute a very simple command, which is date command. Okay. Now, same, I want to add one more command, which is a wrong command. Okay. This is my task two. And what I want to do, I want to execute a command, which is a wrong command. Okay. So I'll say date one. Okay. Now I have third task. And in this task, what I want to do, I want to run a command, which is task, sorry, which is date, means correct command. Okay, now I have three tasks, task one, task two, and task three. So in task one, everything will be executed properly. Task two, there is an error. So I want to see that if I execute this script, whether it get terminated after task two because there is an error, or will it be continue to task three. So now I will save this. If I say Ansible and playbook and 05. So, okay, something wrong in the alignment. So, oh, something terribly wrong. What I'm doing? Hang on. Name, command. Yeah, this is correct. Command is also correct. Name, this. Oh, where I'm doing wrong. Let me just, this is correct. Hyphen name. Hyphen name, post task. Yeah, that should be absolutely fine. What it is saying, error while parsing simple key, could not find the colon. Oh, am I missing colon anywhere? Oh, this one is not proper. Now we will apply this. So now you can see task 2 throws the error and task 3 did not get executed. Right. So the reason is task 1 got executed, task 2 throws the error and it terminates my program or my script. Now consider this, you don't want like this. You want that if my task 2 is not executed, it should be continued to the next task. Okay. Or you can, identify the tasks which you think that, okay, these tasks can be ignored. So then what I will do here, I will say in task 2, I'll say ignore underscore errors equals to true. Okay, so I'm saying ignore error means if there is an error, ignore the error and move to the next one. Okay, so let's say yes. Now I'll say again Ansible Playbook. Now you can see it is ignoring this error now, and it moved to the next task, which is task 3. So this way you can handle the errors in Ansible. Okay. So this is the exception or error handling. Just give me 1 minute, 1 minute only. Yeah. So this is exception handling. Right. Now there is something called magic variables. What is magic variables? Magic variables are basically the variables which are predefined, right? So if I go to the Ansible documentation and if I search for magic variables in Ansible, right? And if we go to this definition, so these are the, so what are the magic variable means? See, there are few things which programmatically getting those system level properties are very difficult. Like for example, you want to search that that the operating system type, whether it is a Red Hat, Windows, Debian based, right? So those things are, means we can we can maybe we can do that, those kind of things, but as a programmer, maybe I need to write a lot of code. But what Ansible has done, it is saying no need to write some extra code or no need to write something which is you know which is extra efforts to to get that information. So I will give you a ready-made variable. Use that variable. It will tells OS family. It will tell you about the some other properties like IP address, etc. System level properties. So those are called the magic variables. So so uh, right. So here you can see that Ansible all IP addresses. So we can find all the IP addresses, right? Same way, if you want to search that is called the um, facts. Okay, so these are called facts. Now, for example, if I say so this is the inbuilt, so we can directly use setup. So setup is a module. With the help of that, we can find the facts. So what I will do here, I will uh, I will use this command, Ansible DB server on my database server, which is a Red Hat system. I want to check that um, what are its properties. Okay, so I will run this command on my DB servers. So if I run this command, right, so it will give you all the details. Okay, cannot match the, okay, it's DB server, I think, not servers. So it will go to my DB server and it will extract all the information in the form of variables, right? So it is connecting to that machine and getting that information. So it is taking a little bit time. Let's wait for this. Yeah. So here you can see all the information is here. Or what I will do, I will just put it into a file called facts.log or dbfacts.log. Okay. So I will put it output of this into my dbfacts.log file so that I can search something, right? Because here I need to scroll up and scroll down to check there if it is in the form of file, then I can search the things. Right now, if you see here, if I say vi and db facts.log file, right now what I can do, I can search for say os underscore family, right? So this is os family. I'll search next. Ansible os family. See, it is saying it is Red Hat. Okay, Ansible os family. It is Red Hat. Now let me just go to the top of this file. It is starting from here, right? We will search for maybe IP address. So you can see it is showing the IP address of that system. There are two adapters I have attached. So it is giving both the IP addresses. And these are the IPv6 addresses, right? Right. So it is very useful, right? There are many properties which we don't use on regular basis. So those, um, if I search for OS, and if you see Ansible architecture of that machine is x86-64, board name is VirtualBox, right? And so on. So now, right, and OS family is this one, right? So these things we can use in our code. For example, you are saying that I want to create a file if the OS family is Red Hat. Okay, I don't only want to run on the, here you can see distribution. So distribution is nothing but uh, it is the name of the operating system, right? If it is Ubuntu, it will be Ubuntu. If it is Red Hat, it will be Red Hat. Family is something else. Like Ubuntu is, it belongs to Debian family, and Red Hat belongs, CentOS belongs to the family which is Red Hat family. So those things we can get from these magic variables, right? So now let us see how we can use these variables into our script. So what I'm going to do now, for example, I want to check the OS family, Ansible facts we need to use, and then the variable name. So I want to see the OS family for my web server or DB servers, okay? Something like that I want to do. So to do that, what I will do, I will go to my, if I go here and if I say nano and 06, and I will say facts dot YAML file. So I will use triple hyphen and name of the playbook for fetching OS level details. Okay, and here I will use the host. I want to search the host, which is, say, you can put asterisk. So asterisk means for all. Okay, web server, DB server, both, right? And I want to run a task. I want to print. So I will use the task name is, say, if I say print OS family. So I will say, what I will do, I will use this message. My module name is debug. First, I need to give the module name, okay, and then I will use the message. So here I will say name of the OS family is. So here I will use Ansible. I will use Ansible facts into the curly braces and OS family. So I will use that one, right? So now let us save this. So now I'll say Ansible Playbook 06. There is some error. Okay, asterisk should be in the double quotes. So now it is going to my web servers and DB servers. And now you can see for my web server, OS family is Debian, and for my Red Hat, it is Red Hat. Now it will be very useful if you want to put some conditional state. So conditional statement means if you are saying if OS family is this, then do this. So those kind of things we can do. So let us see with the example. So I will put one conditional statement now. So I will say nano and 07 conditional statement underscore one. Okay, dot YAML. So I'll take one example. So now if I say uh, name, I want to say apply conditional statement on the basis of OS family. Okay. So what I want to do here, I will say host. I want to execute it on all the hosts. Now I want to run some tasks. Okay. Now the task is, name of the task is install Apache on Debian based system. Using APT module. Okay, because APT module only works on the Debian based system. So here I will use the module which is APT module. And here I want to use the name of the package which is Apache 2. Okay, and I will say Apache 2, and I will say that state is present. Okay? State is present. Or I think let me just check whether Apache is already there. Systemctl status Apache 2. Okay, Apache is already there on this. So what I will do, I will just remove the Apache because I need to install. I can remove with the script also, but I will, sudo su, and I will say apt purge Apache 2 from my worker 1. So I'm uninstalling this, sudo su, and I will say apt purge apache 2 minus. So I'm uninstalling Apache from both of my servers. Okay. And on my Red Hat machine, if I say sudo su, right, and if I say systemctl status, here the Apache package name is httpd. It is already installed. Right. So let it be. Okay. And right. So now what I want to do here, I want to say install Apache, state is present, but I want to install on my web servers only. So here I can put a condition. So I can put a condition when. So you can use when, and here you can say Ansible underscore facts and OS underscore family. First I will put a wrong condition. Okay. And I'll say equals to Red Hat. Okay. So I'm saying you can do one thing. You can just install when the OS family. So OS family is what? This is magic variable. So I'm saying if OS family is Red Hat, then install it, otherwise not. Okay. So let us save this. So in my web server, OS family is Debian, right? So now if I say Ansible and Playbook, which is 06, uh, not 06, I think 07, right? Right. I want to execute this one. So you can see there is something wrong. I think it is in the alignment only. I did not expect hyphen indicator. Okay. So this alignment is not correct. This should be in the same alignment of the name. Okay. So now, yes, let us try again. Oh, still it is giving the error. Host, what it is saying, apply the conditional statement. Host, what I'm doing, it should be host S. So now it is going to web server 1 and web server 2. And you can see it is skipping. Why it is skipping? Because and it is giving the error on my Red Hat system. Why? Because that apt module will not work on the Red Hat based system, right? So here now you can see my conditional statement got executed successfully because on these machines it has, if you see, systemctl status Apache 2. So you will not find Apache 2 because it is not installed. Now I will say, okay, run this statement only when it is Debian based system. Okay. Now it will execute on my Debian based system, but when it goes to the Red Hat system, there it will be skipped. Okay, so this is the correct script. Now let me save this. Now if I execute this again, now this time it will install Apache on my web server 1 and web server 2 because these two are my web servers, and it will be skipped on Red Hat system because its OS family is not Debian based. So it is executing now. So it is skipping my Red Hat based system because that is it is not supposed to execute on that particular machine. Now it will execute on my other system. Okay, so because installation and I'm using the local environment, so it will take a little bit more time. But if you have this setup on your AWS or Azure, right? So it will be a bit more fast. Right. So now it is executed. So if it is executed, then it means I will be able to see Apache 2 on this machine. And this time it did not throw the error because my Red Hat based system on that machine APT module is ignored because the condition was not satisfied. So this way you can use this conditional statement. So what I will do, I will take a copy of this, okay, and I will make it instead of 07, I will make it 08 and conditional statement 2. Okay. Now I will open this nano 08. Right. So now you can put um, logical operator, like you can put and or not. So let us check that one. This is the conditional statement, right? Um, and or not or equals to not equals to. These are the operators I can use. Okay, so now if I say and, now if you see this one, which is the distribution, there is OS family, there is something called OS underscore distribution. Let me just check that one. Magic variables. Let me go to the Ansible documentation. Yeah, so Ansible distribution is there, okay, which tells the operating system type, whether it is CentOS, Red Hat. See, Debian is a family, but actually it is Ubuntu, right? So now consider you are having multiple Debian-based system into your cluster, but you want that it is to be executed only on the distribution which is Ubuntu. So I'll say and Ansible underscore facts and the distribution. Okay, OS underscore distribution distribution, right, equals to Ubuntu. Okay, okay, 1 second, my system battery is down. Let me just write this statement, Ubuntu. Okay, then execute it. So I'm putting and condition. So both the conditions should be satisfied. Let me save this. And now I will execute Ansible and playbook 08 and this. So there is a syntax error. I think hyphen is not required. Let me say hyphen syntax check. So now it is fine. Hmm, okay. Syntax, something wrong. 1 second. Let me just see one thing. Let me go to my notes. Okay, it is Ansible underscore distribution. So it's not Ansible flex. Okay, so let us try this. Syntax check is fine. So it is giving, it will give the green color output for worker 1 and worker 2 because it will be already, it is already installing. It's already installed, right? But this is a warning. So it is saying Ansible facts. Use Ansible fact name. Okay, so here actually, okay, it's a warning, but it is not. But it is, see, it is keeping on my Red Hat system, and green color output for my Ubuntu based system. Condition got satisfied, everything run fine. But only thing is that it is saying deprecation warning equals to false. We can put it into the ansible.cfg file. But and operator is used, right? Similar way, you can use the similar way, we can use the OR operator. Here instead of and or. Or means either of this condition is true. Okay, either of this condition is true. Then or operator. And if you say either of Means if the OS family is Debian or Ansible distribution is Ubuntu, right? So both the way it will work. Means if any of the condition is true, it will work. Same way we are having not equals to. So if I just run in this way, so what I'll do, I'll just take a copy of this. I'll say copy 08 and I will make it 09. Right. So now if I open this 09, right, and now what I will say, not equals to. Right. So in that case, it will be skipped. Okay, or you can say not equals to red hat. Red hat. Right. So in this case, it will be only executing on those machines which are Red Hat based system, which are not equals to Red Hat based system. Now I'll save this again. It will only take those machines which are Debian based. So I'll say Ansible and Playbook, right? And 09. Yes. So you can use and, or, not, which is not equals to or double equals to, right? Now let us use this conditional statement, and we will use a module which is called the user module. Okay. With the help of this user module, what we will do, we will create a user. And if you want to create a user on the basis of some condition, like if it is OS family is Debian, then create it. Okay. So we will do that one. Okay. So I will say nano and 10 underscore conditional statement 4 dot YAML file. Okay. Now triple hyphen name create user for Red Hat system only. Okay, create only on that system. Now if I go and if I say the host, on which host I'm searching all the host, or you can say web server comma DB servers, then the tasks. So I want to execute a task. So name of the task is creating a user. Creating a user. Now that user I want to create under, so I will use a module which is called this, and name of the user is say Mikhil. Okay, so I want to create a user called Mikhil. Okay, and maybe some other conditions if you want to put. Okay, only create. Okay, so now what I want to do, this user is to be created, but when, so I will say when Ansible facts OS underscore family equals to Red Hat. Okay, it is only get created if OS family is Red Hat. Okay, so right. So now if you want to confirm whether that, see when we create a user, right? So there is a special file cat slash etc slash password file, right? And if I say grep and I want to check that Mikhil user is created in this, so you can see it does not exist. If it exists, for example, Raman user exists, it will give you that output. So what I want to do next, I want to write confirm whether user get created or not. So I will say name verifying user is created or not. Okay. So what I will do, I will run the command. Okay. Command module, and I will say cat. If I run a command something like this, cat grep and then wc minus l. So it returns 1 in case of Raman, and in case of Mikhil, it will be 0 record. Right? So now I want to run this command cat. So I will run this. Uh, I will run this command. Right? Once this command get executed, I want to put it into a variable register, say output variable. Then I want to return yes, user is created or not. So I'll say name and I will say something result. And here I will say the I will say debug module. Under debug module, I will say message user is created. Or you can say Mikhil user. So we can use the variable also. Let us create some variable, okay? And I will enter that where underscore prompt. Okay, it's where or where's. Uh, 1 second. I think it's where's underscore prompt. Where's underscore prompt. Okay. And here name of the variable I will say user1. Okay. And I will prompt for enter username. Okay. And here I will say private equals to no. Okay. And now here I will use that username instead of hard coding Mikhil. So what I'll do curly braces and user1. Right. And I'll put it into double quotes. Right. And result, and I will say user1 created. User1 created, but when the result is when output is 1, right? So it means when output dot std out equals to 1. In that case, it is created. Okay. So now our script is ready. Let me save this script. Now I'll say Ansible and Ansible Playbook 10 dot. So let us execute this one. There is some error or 2 underscore by mistake I have used. It should be 1 underscore. Okay, I'm entering the user, Mikhil.
Yes, sir. Clear.
So it will create only for the RHEL. So creating user for RHEL is created. Some error here. Verifying. Oh, so what it is saying? Okay, cat command issue. Okay. Okay, let me first check whether that user exists. If I run this command, which is for Nikhil, user created, but there is an error while we are verifying this. Okay, let me just check that one. So here you can see verifying part command. Okay, so cat /etc/grep Nikhil. Hang on, let me just check the syntax once. Okay, so I need to use shell variable instead of, because command looks like it does not support. Let me use shell. And let me save this. And here, what I'll say, user del Nikhil. Okay. I will delete this user. Now this user does not exist. Now, so again, I will run the same script. Okay, now it is saying Nikhil user got created, right? So we need to use shell instead of command. Okay, so here what we have done, we have created our user, and we get it confirmed through our script itself. So here means it's a demonstration for the conditional statement. Now there are two more things. Let me just finish this also. Loops. So what is loop? Loop means when you want to repeat something again and again, right? So for example, if I say nano 11 underscore loop underscore statement underscore one dot YAML file. Okay, so I will say triple hyphen, and I'll say name, and I'll say loop statement. Play for loop statements. So here I want to execute. I will execute anywhere. Now I have shown you the conditional statement. Let me put it on the local host. Okay, so now task, and here I will say name, print loop values. Okay, I'm printing the loop values, and I will use the debug module. In the debug module, I will simply say message, and I'll say item. So item is a reserved word which indicates the current value of the loop statement. But how we can find that? So I'll say with underscore items. So with this, you can create the loops with underscore item, and you need to mention the uh, name of your item. For example, if you say it is 1, so this is a collection. 2, say 3. So I have 3 numbers. Okay. Now if I save this, now if I execute, so item will be initially 1, then 2, then 3. So if I say Ansible and playbook 11, this way. Okay. Some error. Okay. Again, it should be in the same alignment of the name. So, okay, again, mistake. It should be hosts S. Right? So you can see initially the value is 1, then 2, then 3. So I'll take a copy of this. Okay. And I will make it statement 2 and 2. So you can use alternatively uh, one more statement, which is called loop. Okay. So we can use loop also. In the loop also, you will get the similar output. So I will do. So again, we will get the same. So you can use loop or you can use with underscore item. Okay. Now consider what I want to do. I'll take a copy of this. So what I want to do, nano and 13 HTML. So what I want to do, I want to create a directory. So I will remove this. Okay. And I'll say command, and I'll say make directory under temp slash and item directory. Okay. So what it will do, it will create the directory 1 under temp directory, then 2, and then 3. So let me save this. Now if I say Ansible and playbook 13, okay, so some error, column 7. Okay, let me just check. So the error is in the double quotes. Okay, again, let me just check. It is giving temp slash 1 delta. Cannot create no such file or directory. Okay, let me just check ls slash tmp. I don't have those. Okay, so cannot create mkdir temp slash 1 So this should be fine. Let me see the error one more time. mkdir create directory. Oh, sorry, /tmp. It should be under root. I have tmp. Okay. So now let us run this. So now you can see 3 directories get created. If I say ls minus l and /tmp, so you can see there will be 3 directories, 1, 2, and 3 got created. Right? Same way, if you want to remove, then what you can do, you can remove this also with rmdir command. Okay, that you can try by yourself. Okay, so this is how we can use the loops. Another thing is which is tags. Okay, so what we can do, we can use the tags also. Tags in the sense, for example, you are having few things. So I'll say nano 14 underscore tags dot YAML file. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'll say name. Name is something tags play. Okay. And here I will give the host. Again, I will use the maybe web servers we can use. Web servers and tasks. So I will run some tasks. So what is the task? So first task is that name install Apache 2. Okay. I want to install Apache 2. Now for that I will use apt module and I will say name of the module is name of the package is Apache 2 and state is present. So, and I want to give it tag here. I'll say tags. Tags, and I will give this tag as install or Apache install. Same way, I want to uninstall the Apache. So what I will do, I will say same thing, right? And instead of present, I will say absent. Right? And also there is one more property, purge equals to true. Okay. Then I want to call it as Apache remove. Now next one is what I want to do. I want to start a service. So I will write one more statement, which will basically here I will say instead of install, I will say remove. And here instead of install, now I will say start service. Start Apache 2. And here I will use the module which is called the service module, name state. State I want to say started. Okay, purge is not required. And here give this as a start service. Okay. Same way, I want to create another one, which is to stop the service. So here I will call it as stop Apache 2, right? And I will call it as stop service. And here the state should be stopped, right? So now I have different tags, right? I want to execute a specific task, not all the tasks. See, if I run the playbook, it will execute everything. But now what I want to do, I want to execute a specific task only. So for that, let me save this. Now what I'll do, Ansible and playbook, playbook, and 14 underscore tags. Sorry, let me. So I want to execute. Let me see whether service is in the started state. It's already. So it's already started. Let me stop this. So I will say stop service. So I want to execute only the tag. Okay, so the name is not found. Sorry, hyphen tag stop service. Now it will execute only stop service task. It will not execute any other task for my web servers. See, it is stopped. Now if I go here and if I check, so you can see it is in the inactive state. Now if I want to start, so I want to execute only one task, which is the start service. Now it will execute only that task which is having a tag start service. Right. So you can see now it should be in the started mode, right? So this way we can use the tags. Okay. For today, I think we have discussed a lot of examples related to Ansible Playbook. So tomorrow we will, in next lecture, we will discuss about the uh, Jinja template, Ansible Galaxy. So these are the two main topics which I need to discuss in the next lecture.
Sure, sir.
Okay, sure. So yeah, so we can decide the time, maybe
What time would you like to connect?
what time you want to